Said I did see this level before the contest. I think it's really cool. Next up, though, we have Cosmic Jump by ApStrom. Ooh, this is more of a classic space level too. Oh, okay, this is more of a modernistic take on it. Very interesting. I love how clearly this is signposted. The gameplay looks good here. Nice transition with space. You're gonna troll me like that? Oh my gosh, dude. These screens are really cool. Stretching out some of the cyber blocks right there. And having little glass windows to show space on the outside. Lots of recognizable GD objects in this one. Lots of cool structuring, nice shapes and compositions. That is such a cool transition with the white screen. Reminds me of an old effect level. You see how seamlessly it changes this entire thing. We have a glow layer, and then we have this white diamond that's just expanding straight up. Super cool transition. Works pretty much perfectly. And I love just dynamic details like that black orb with the beat and the song. You see that it just projects out these lines, adds a pink tint to the level, builds a lot of energy. Love that. It does it on every orb, it seems. But yeah, this is just like a very classic level build up. Feels like a prime modern level with so many different layers. The background that opens up back into space, I really want to know what that drop is like. But that is so sick how the level comes together with this circle format and then breaks apart. That is such a unique transition. And even this black layer is brought up with other slopes that extend outwards. I think that's so fascinating. Paired with the chromatic shader, that's such an effective transition. Cosmic Jump. Let's check this one out. Not really sure what to expect from this one. It could go a lot of different ways. Wow, that is a cool background straight away. I love the middle ground that it's showing the space background, but you're also feeling like you're in a space lab. These designs are absolutely incredible. Love how well the particles make the orbs fit in with the rest of the designs. There's a slight stylistic switch up through this pod, but it feels like a nice change in the level. We're going into different parts of this space station, I'm assuming. Love the structuring. And then we have this beautiful modernistic section, which is honestly a style I really miss from the game. I think this is some of the nicest looking modern style I've seen in a while, because we're just focused on so many different art styles at the moment that modernistic's kind of been pushed to the back. This section's a little bit confusing with the structuring. It feels like gameplay was maybe an afterthought, but very, very nice work. I really love the style of the bricks and everything. The transitions with the glow and everything, super impressive. Love the way that this level's put together. I really like this aesthetic with the cube being completely blacked out there. There's so much going on to transition from part to part. I think some parts are more effective than others, but overall, you get a really nice synergy between three main styles, which is like a detailed space station, a kind of effect style like this one. This is kind of hard to read with the lack of structuring that's clear to me here. You also get that nice modern style too. I think the colors are very well done to establish the lights and darks. You have the bright details that are a focus in a lot of the parts in this level, and then the cube is either blacked out or the blocks in the front are darker. I think it's very smartly arranged like that. Now going through here, I had barely any problems with the gameplay, so I know that this is going to be a fine experience. I think the first part is probably one of the more impressive parts just design-wise. There's a lot to look at. There's a lot of glitching aspects. I think everything is very well pieced together. This part feels very enclosed. I quite like it. It's a nice switch up to build up the level a little bit more. Lots of bouncy movements. Feels a little bit more janky than some of the other levels we've seen so far. And then this just fits really well with the song. It's like a nice change that completely shakes up the vibe of the level and offers something completely different for the build-up, which means when you get to this part, you're not really expecting what you see. And there are some parts that feel a little bit weird gameplay-wise, as I said, but yeah. I like the camera movements, how it kind of stops and lets you experience certain parts of the lab for yourself. Love the monsters that are rotating through this part. Oh man, I mentioned not having a problem with the gameplay. That's true, but the structures could probably be a little bit more clear at times. I really like how this part is structured, for example, where you can clearly see each block, but then it's built into the grounds that it's in without making you think that the ground that you're looking at is something that you're gonna have to jump on, you know what I mean? I'm just saying in general, a lot of levels fall short when they have too many structures, and it really makes you struggle to pick out the important structures that you need to use. Okay, let's go back through here. I just love this style so much. I think the glowy parts offer a very nice switch up from those sections, and I love the effect-driven sections like these with the more cyber effect style that's going on. These transitions work super well, fusing modernistic style with this kind of dark effect style, and just Switching it back and forth from this white background is such an interesting choice. Keeps it really fresh. There's always something to look at. It does switch up a lot. Like, wow. Sometimes the transitions are extremely fast-paced. It does trip me up gameplay-wise, but looks super impressive visually. It creates a really convincing vacuum that you're really shifting between the parts. It adds a little bit of flavor to the level. I love the lens flares and the colors here. And these transitions will never not be impressive to me. Love the use of the swing copter here. Good game mode for the style that it's going for with the floating rocks and stuff. Oh my gosh, it goes so quick. One thing I think this level does well as well is the fact that because it uses so much white, it doesn't saturate itself too much with the other colors in the level. And I think that ties the whole thing together. I think if the parts that didn't use so much white had more color, it would not really work as well as it does overall. I think the transitions between part to part are amazing overall. I love how it ends and then you have this screen. I think it's funny, the kind of stereotype that in space, the camera kind of wobbles in this room. You see a lot of movements where it's just kind of moving around or teetering in a circle. And it looks cool, but it is pretty interesting how everyone goes for it.